Yo, 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 what it is? Got my man Raceski in the building. Fuck it is. Make sure you hit that like button. If you catch the video on the replay, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hold up, y'all. I don't even know if we live everywhere. Let me make sure. Let me see something. All right, we live. We live on Twitch, live on TikTok. Twitter. We should be live on Facebook. Should be live on fucking YouTube. But we ain't live on YouTube. Oh no, we good. Make sure I hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. We got open conversation today, y'all. Let me do something real quick. Open conversation today. Y'all been hearing me going on for weeks and months about Diddy. I want to hear from the people, man. Hear what y'all got to say. I want to hear from y'all, man. Do y'all got to say about Diddy trial? Because everybody seem to think that. Like I was watching TMZ earlier. Well, I ain't watch it, but I clicked it. And they supposed to reach a decision on 3 of the 4 charges, 3 of the 5 charges, or 4 of the 5 charges.
Customize right? And save with Liberty Mutual.
Yeah, but that can mean anything. That don't mean just because they reached a decision, that don't necessarily mean guilty. You understand what I'm saying? That don't mean guilty, man. It can mean not guilty. Like, it's a number of different things that it can mean. And it doesn't have to be guilty. But we ready to get into it, though. Diddy verdict bombshell. Yo, hit that like button, share the live. G-Man, ball out. What it is. I know they be playing when we go live this way. That's why I hardly ever do it. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Yo, if anybody want to come up, G-Man, ready to drop the link. Anybody want to come up? Matter of fact, let me call my man real quick. Let me show y'all what they got going on. I need to close some of these windows. Hold on. Go get some main windows open.
There is a partial verdict in the Diddy case after 2 days. The jury has reached unanimous decisions on 4 of the 5 counts.
The problem is that 5th count means that we don't get to find out what the verdicts are on the other 4 because they are hung up on racketeering.
Which is what we talked about for days now. That racketeering from the get-go has been the problematic count.
It is a very complicated charge.
And a lot of people saying it's square peg, round hole. That we know that there are multiple jurors on both sides. It's not just one holdout. That on racketeering, they are stuck. But they have reached a decision on sex trafficking as it results with Cassie. They've reached a decision on the Mann Act, the interstate transportation of a sex worker, as to Cassie. They have reached a decision, unanimous, on sex.
Yeah, but this don't necessarily mean guilty. But that's how it's being portrayed. Now, it could very well mean guilty. But it could also mean not guilty. But the media is portraying it like, well, there's no way that they struggling on these cases and it's not guilty. I mean, these charges and it's not guilty. But on the other count, the racketeering count, they're saying not guilty. But they struggling on these counts, which are, charges that carry lesser time. But they could be guilty. They could have unanimous decision as far as guilt or innocent. It don't have to necessarily mean guilty.
Sex trafficking as to Jane, and they have reached a decision on the Mann Act as to Jane.
So, but what does this mean? What's confusing is all of those things that you just said are also included.
When you list on apartments.com, renters will start coming out of the woodwork.
We wanted to use Premiere to create a prose-based visual montage, like a video poem. To do that, we collaborated with one of our poet friends
to write a few paragraphs of verse,
Yeah, I know that's how
which
they
we
doing
shot.
lately.
In the racketeering
And no lady,
count.
what's
So
up,
we
baby?
don't know what the vote is.
So we don't know what the vote is. It's hard to read what they possibly came up with.
Let me read between the lines on what you're saying, because what Charles, I think, it's just a valid point that you need to find 2 crimes in order to apply the RICO statute, the racketeering statute. If they found Diddy guilty on the Mann Act, which is the most likely as to both Jane and Cassie, those are 2 illegal counts. And therefore,
So we think they'd have enough.
So what I'm saying to you is, and I said to you all along, which is Diddy really the racketeer that people are used to hearing?
And so you think that perhaps there's a juror or 2 or more
than one,
who are confused about the racketeering. Like, how can this be racketeering if it's just Diddy doing it?
And the reason I say that is we know
Because
early
you
on
people
there was
hung up.
one juror, remember, where the jury said he's not following the law.
Juror 25.
And I said to you,
I'd have been that juror. I ain't trying to hit none of that shit. Not guilty. You heard me? And I'd have been over there persuading other people. Man, look, I'm not buying it. I think these witnesses lying. I just need to see more. I'd have been that juror that just need to see more. Like, I haven't seen enough, y'all. I'm sorry. I know what you want me to tell. I don't see not guilty on everything. I ain't trying to hit. You can't change my mind. Not guilty on everything. I don't see the RICO. I don't see the sex trafficking. I don't see the force. I don't see the coercion. I'm Stevie Wonder. That's what I'd have been. I'd have been Stevie Wonder in the courtroom, in the jury box. Because I ain't seen shit. You might need to do this trial over. we might need to retry this because I just need to see more. I need to see more evidence.
this is a racketeering charge. It just that's the one they were hung up on. So we don't know as to the other four whether
I wouldn't have did it that way. I'm just joking. I really would have did it in the way where I'm understanding the proceedings and still was like, no, I don't see it. I don't see it.
Diddy has been found guilty or not guilty, but there's a hint that with Cassie, the jury asked to review a transcript where
She was
talked
talking about a flight from Cannes to New York.
Right.
And this is the flight where Diddy said to her,
Showed her
she
the video.
testified
Showed her the
that
freak-off video.
he showed her a video of a freak-off that she participated in and said, if you don't participate in another freak-off when we get to New York, I'm going to put this video out. I'm going to send it to your...
Hey, yo, hold the fuck up, yo. How do we know if who verified those claims? See, yo, that's why this case is such bogus. Like, yo, you can just literally go to court, testify, and say, yo, Diddy did this to me with no witnesses, no corroborating evidence, just your statements. Like, yo, that is crazy, yo. Yo, that is wild. But the feds allow hearsay. That's why it's so hard for people to beat them. You know, like I said, it ain't that they got special prosecutors. It's the amount of evidence that they allow in the federal court that's not allowed in state court is the issue. That is insane. Like, how can you even cross-examine that? How can you basically cross-examine that? How can you prove that that's a lie if there's nobody else to verify these claims? And you're talking about a situation that happened years ago.
Your mother.
And that's coercion.
She testified
if it's true.
to that.
If the jury
if they
believes
believed her,
yeah.
that's coercion.
That's
they would have Cassie. They would have sex trafficking of Cassie.
The complication is that Cassie never mentioned that in her direct testimony when she was on the stand. She never mentioned it on cross-examination. Only on redirect did the...
So you think that the
I don't
jury
know.
might not believe her because they might be thinking, well, why wouldn't she have brought that up in the first place when she was testifying?
What I'm saying to you is maybe that's why they wanted to review the transcript. But, I mean, I don't think this is great news for Diddy that they came back this quickly unanimously.
Well, the reports from inside the court are that he was sitting there looking pretty upset when they came back and said that they had reached a verdict on...
Ever wondered what your home looks like from space?
Nobody knows what that
Enter
verdict
your
means,
address
though,
and
yo.
get a 360-degree satellite view
Like,
of
what
your
if the
home.
mainstream media
right
said,
now.
yeah, we think we
See
got
your
3 guilties, and whole time they not guilty. That shit gonna stun everybody. That's gonna stun the whole internet, the world. How mainstream media keep pushing that they got guilty verdicts, and they are not guilty verdicts. I swear that should be funny as a motherfucker.
It's pretty terrible news for Diddy if they were asking for this testimony, because it suggests that there's a dynamic of trying to convince someone who is holding out belief that these were maybe not consensual. You bring that testimony and put it in front of them and say, oh, really? Look at the Intercontinental Hotel. Look at the threat on the flight to Cannes. Look at this evidence of this sex worker who said he heard Cassie being slapped around by Diddy and then forced to participate in a freak-off. That's the kind of testimony you ask for when you're trying to convince someone. That's why I think it's probably leaning towards guilt. Now, on the racketeering, I agree with you that the predicate acts may be found, but that's not all they need. There's an ultimate question. The first question on the jury verdict form is, do you find him guilty or not guilty of racketeering? Before you even get to the predicate acts, which you only get to if you find guilt, they could just be hung up on that question and say, this guy's not Tony Soprano. I am not convinced that I even want to find guilt on the act.
Yeah. Now, here's the complication. The jury came in and said, look, we can't make a decision on racketeering. We seem deadlocked. And then the question is, Jason, help me out here. There's something called the Allen charge, which is kind of the nuclear weapon of a judge, where the judge kind of gently badgers them and says, you got to reach a decision in some form. And there was a lot of talk about whether the judge should give that charge or just send him back, or just throw his hands up and say, you're hung and that's it, and we'll just read 4 counts.
Yeah, so prosecutors wanted a modified Allen charge, some sort of an instruction from the judge when sending them back in to deliberate that it varied in some way from the original charge he gave them to deliberate until they have a verdict. the defense immediately said, no, we shouldn't modify the Allen charge, at least not yet. They sort of held off. It may happen later on. But because of what the
that's what I'm saying, like that's how this whole case is. That's why it's so garbage. Like you don't know if they're telling the truth or not. You don't know. Like there's nobody can back these claims. You really can't refute them. And you know the government coerces witnesses. Like this is what we know. This is what they have been known to do. This ain't me speculating. This is facts. They will coerce witnesses to say what they want them to say. You got 50 baby mother. Once she started meeting with the government, now she's sending Diddy texts calling him a pedophile and saying that she was sex trafficked. And you understand? A whole bunch of bullshit. Man, if he get 5, he get 5. He'll win. Yo, if y'all want to come in, hit the link. I think the link still on there. Hit the link, man.
defense wants is no change. They don't want the judge to say anything that might sort of persuade those holdout jurors to come around. They want to keep it status quo, send them back in, which is ultimately what happened. Send them back in, Your Honor, with no additional charge, just to keep on doing their job because they're convinced that
yeah, we ain't with that, yo. We ain't with no disrespect, Lil Rodney's son, man. Straight up. We ain't fucking around with that. Niggas will get on DDG Hills. He talking about here, come to Baltimore and buy Lil Reggie Block. Yeah, all right. Come on down, nigga. Bluffing ass nigga.
point. If they haven't reached a verdict after what's been 14 hours, they're not going to reach a verdict without an additional charge.
So the defense wants to keep those, however many jurors are the holdouts, keep them that way so that they will get.
Hold on, y'all. Let me I gotta close some of these. Some of these pages. I have the pages open. All right.
A hung jury.
I think they want a hung jury on racketeering.
Right.
Sure. Now here's the rub. So they're going to be in court tomorrow deliberating. They've gone home for the night. They're going to be in court tomorrow. The dynamic with juries, and we've just seen this over and over and over again, is when they're up against a 4-day holiday, they miraculously come together.
They seem motivated, right? They seem motivated to get this done.
Yeah.
They wanted to get it done today. They would have. I think the jury was.
They were happy with 4 out of 5.
Happy with the 4 or 5, and we're probably hoping the
Meatloaf
judge.
song.
We're hoping the judge would just send him home.
There's a really good point on this because the prosecution wanted the judge to mention to the jury that they may have to come back on July 3rd, which is supposed to be a holiday. The defense said, we don't want you to mention that, Judge. And they specifically said, because if you say to them they have to come back July 3rd, it might motivate them to actually reach a resolution before, but tomorrow.
On Wednesday.
Yes, on Wednesday. And so instead, what they want the jury to think, hey, if we can, those holdout jurors, if we can just hold out for tomorrow, we'll be sent home, hung jury, we're done. If the jury knew that they might have to come back on Thursday, then they might have a problem.
Nothing drives consensus like a 4-day weekend.
That's
I'm
right.
telling you, like that jury is sitting there, and if there's one holdout, he's sweating, or he or she.
Yeah.
Elise Mahover from New York.
Hold up, y'all. All right, we back, man. Fucking internet acting stupid. All right, let's get back to what we was doing. They need to tell the lawyers to work out a deal. Well, I don't think Diddy want to work out no deal. Man, he is guilty. That's because they killed him in public opinion, y'all. Y'all allowed it. Y'all allowed these motherfuckers to kill him in public opinion way before he went to court. Most of these jurors already had their verdict in mind before they even stepped foot in the courtroom. That was the play. That was the play the whole time. No, I ain't never gonna allow it. What you talking about? I ain't never gonna allow it, man. I'm always gonna go against the federal government. As shit as you. The fuck? We should all be going against the motherfuckers. They ain't never mean the people no good. They ain't never prosecuting on good faith. They on bullshit all the time. All the time.
And it's not surprising that the jury is hung up on the racketeering charge in the Diddy case, because that's sort of a really complex charge. And also, it's good that they have found him, or, you know, they made a decision on the 4 other counts. But honestly, I thought RICO was the charge that they had in the bag. And now it looks like they'll end up, you know, convincing at least the other 4 counts. But let's see what happens with
see, this
the...
the thing, right?
They may or may not.
This the thing, right? Yo, he can't be found. There's no way they got him guilty on 4 counts, because they only need to get him guilty on 2 counts to find him guilty of the RICO. You understand what I'm saying? So there's no way they found him guilty on 4 counts. They might have found him guilty on 1 count, and they struggling with the RICO. Because if they found guilty on 4 counts, they would have him guilty on the RICO, y'all. It don't make it doesn't really make sense.
Make a decision. So listen, to summarize, the jury has come back unanimously with verdicts on sex trafficking as to Jane and Cassie, on the Mann Act as to Jane and Cassie, but they have some kind of split, and it's not 11-1. It's multiples on each side. We don't know what the multiples are, but they seem to think that they're all dug in and they can't make a decision. So they're back tomorrow. They're up against a 4-day holiday. So tomorrow might be a
4-day holiday or just a 3-day holiday?
It might be Judgment Day for Diddy, where the verdict is read, and like you said, Diddy was not looking too happy in court.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's a whole bunch of bullshit. Just upgraded my fucking internet. This should still be acting stupid. Yo, if anybody want to come up, y'all, wish y'all give y'all opinion, man. How y'all feel about the case, man? What y'all think, man? Should Diddy be found guilty of sex trafficking Cassie and Jane Doe? I need answers, man. Yeah, but in order to be charged with the RICO, they gotta find him guilty of 2 predicate acts. They gotta find him guilty of 2 predicate acts involving the RICO. So that's the only way they can get him. you just stole that right from mainstream media. Yeah, real, you dumb as shit, real. Why don't you come on live, yo, so I can hear you say that shit in person? Hey, yo, you gotta stop listening to everything mainstream media say, bro. Romeo, what it is, Pippin? What's up, Stephanie? Man, I'm gonna drop the link again, man. If y'all want to come up, let's talk, man. Everybody always say, yo, won't you start bringing people up? Then when I drop the link, don't nobody not want to come up. That's why we going live this way. For one, they'll never allow us to be seen. You know what I mean? And for 2, niggas don't come up. Real funny and shit. I don't know, man. Snake House. What it is. Let's see what Law and Crime Network putting together. That's a matter of fact, check old Tisa out. Hello, lied ass. Lied ass Tisa. Check line ass Tisa. Gina got paid. Now she's on the payroll. now she's on a low budget press tour. This guy out of control. Yeah, she out of control, man. Let's see what Tisa over there telling her people.
Your job depends on reliable tools. That's all at a fraction of the price. Stop by today and put us to the test. Harbor Freight, your Pro Tools destination.
Are you like the millions of over the past year?
We have to talk about what's going here for Diddy.
God
It
damn.
looks like Diddy is a gone.
Yeah, she be coming there hot like from. And I'm freezing. Alright, let's try this again.
You guys already heard and has already decided. I'm sorry, 4 out of the 5 counts. 4 out of the 5 counts the jury has come back with. Now, as you know, it can only go 2 ways, but y'all, it looks like the jury has already found Diddy guilty of 4 of the 5 counts.
God damn. How the fuck do you know this? How do they know? Do they got a? Is it a mole? Yo, is there a mole on the jury releasing information? Mole on the jury leaking information to the motherfucking media. That is the grounds for mistrial, man. How the fuck? Do they know this?
Saw the body language. I saw the way they're looking at Diddy. It looks like he is guilty out of 4 of the 5. I saw everything I observed. Diddy's reactions, his family's reactions, but even when you get...
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't like this shit. Shit keep fucking freezing. I don't understand why. I don't understand why.
RICO. You guys, they are demanding. Hey, you too. Headphones. Maybe that'll make things easier for you guys. Even if, hold in this really quick, thanks. Even if, okay, all right, okay, let's lock in. Found him guilty. They have not decided on the RICO. The prosecution and the prosecution is betting on the fact that they found.
Yo, why the fuck I keep doing that? I ain't got no other screens open. But yet and still. Alright, is this clearer now? Cause I don't know why my shit acting stupid for it. It's really starting to aggravate me. Ray switched back to my fucking phone. For real. Nah, I don't know why it's doing that shit. I got the best motherfucking I got the best internet Xfinity got to offer, supposedly. They need to fix my shit, man. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, I told y'all Antonio Massey was facing 10 years, too. You know, we already looked into that. I shouldn't have never ran, only facing 10 years. I mean...
that they found Diddy guilty. They're betting on the fact that they found...
Not only facing 10 years, but he shouldn't have never ran with that case he had. You talking about Diddy? I'm great injustice. This is a great injustice right here. My internet ain't stupid. Yeah, they always try to swindle me, man. That's what they do. Whenever I go live this way, they try to sabotage me. Now let's try this again.
Found Diddy guilty, okay? And if you found him guilty of 4 out of the 5 offenses, then you've had to find him guilty on the SMEX trafficking. It is a rule of law. This is also good that if it is a hung jury,
Look,
what happens if it's
that's how you know that that's not the case. You understand what I'm saying? You know that that's not the case because if they had him guilty on 3 counts or 4 counts, he would be mandatory. It would be mandatory that he's guilty of the RICO. So you know that they're lying. They do not got 4 guilty verdicts, man. They're lying. It is true. You just heard Tissa tells lies. And you know she's a fucking liar. You just heard what she said. It is true. In order for Diddy to be found guilty of the RICO, he have to be found guilty of 2 predicate acts of the RICO, like sex trafficking, like bribery. Those are all predicate acts of the RICO. Real, you dumbass.
Lock in. Even if they found him guilty out of 4 out of the 5 charts, they have not decided on the RICO. The prosecution and the defense said, tell them to go back in and decide. Why? Because the prosecution is betting on the fact that they found Diddy guilty. They're betting on the fact that they found Diddy guilty, okay? And if you found him guilty of 4 out of the 5 offenses, then you've had to find him guilty on the SMEX trafficking. It is a rule of law. This is also good that if it is a hung jury, what happens if it's a hung jury? The 4 out of 5 counts are already decided. If it is a hung jury, what they will actually do is they will take that charge and they will retry it. When they retry the case, okay? When they retry the case, this is what gets interesting, because when they retry the case, they can put on a better show. They can put on a better case. They can even look at the acts he was found guilty of and enter that in evidence for the new case. Y'all, listen, do we know if Diddy was found guilty on those 4 of the 5 acts? Of course not. We are not God, nor do we pretend to be. However, when it
sure
comes
is
to that,
acting
let me
like
tell
it.
you little clues that we saw. When they came back and said that they found 4 and 5 counts, it was like a bomb went off. When I say Diddy was the definition of depressed, was the definition of stress, the defense table was acting like this was nothing good. Meanwhile, you look over at the prosecution, all you saw was,
I know, y'all. Everybody, you see what I'm saying, Oliver? But that's what the media does. Like, people don't have their own opinions. Like, yo, everybody's running with this narrative that they got Diddy guilty on 4 counts. Yo, but we don't know. He could be not guilty on all 4 counts, or guilty on 1 of the 4 counts, and they can't come to a determination on the 5th. But the narrative is Diddy is guilty on all 4 counts. That's the narrative. But if that was true, then he will automatically be guilty of the RICO. That's the law. If they found Diddy guilty of 4 counts, he would be guilty of the RICO. They wouldn't be hung on a RICO, if that's the truth.
Ballerina, they look like they are. Maureen Comey looked smug, okay? Also, Janice Combs had to get up and walk out the courtroom. It looked like she was going to pass out. A family member jumped up and ran after her. Xavier went after her, and one of the family men went after her, okay? She didn't have an outburst, but she literally looked like she was using all her strength to walk out the courtroom and take a minute away from prying eyes. Again, Christian Combs came in. He had his head hung down in between his hands. His brothers were rubbing his chest. This does not look like a family that thought that they beat the...
Yo, but that's just how it is, yo. Like, yo, that ain't something specific to them. Yo, this is a tense situation. You know what I mean? Don't nobody know what this jury gonna do. Everybody is up in arms. I would be. Shit, if I was a family member of Diddy's, or if I was Diddy, shit, yo, when your life is on the line, man, that's a tight spot to be in. Your life is in the hand of 4 jurors. You don't know what the fuck they gonna say. Yo, people's gonna be surprised and shocked if they come back and they be like, yo, not guilty on all counts. Or guilty on 1 count, and that count only carried 5 years. You know what I mean? When the whole world thought this man was never gonna see the light of day.
Charges on the 4 out of the 5. And let me tell y'all something, right? Even if the RICO is hung, even if they find there is no RICO, guess what? It doesn't matter, because each of those offenses have a minimum of 10 or 20 years, and that's on the low end. I'm just wiping my screen, showing you guys respect. Even if, right? Even if they find that he is only guilty of those 4 charges and not of the RICO, that is looking at one charge is 10 years, another charge is 15 years, another charge is 20, another charge is 20. That is, right? that is, you are looking at about 80 years in prison if you run it consecutively. Now listen, they said they decided. We do not know if it's all guilty all the time, but I'll tell you one thing, the prediction we had that Diddy is 100% doing jail time is going to happen. There will be justice. Now, how much justice? We will have to see, but there will be justice. What else? Diddy was just sitting there. He had his hands folded, and he was just looking down at his hands. This did not look like a man that thought that he got a not guilty thing, okay? He was sitting there. Let me not look into the thing. I think that's illegal to look into the mirrors of the windows of the thing. He was sitting there, right? And he was looking, and this did not look like a man that thought he had the winning ticket. The prosecution did. On top of that, Mark Agnafilio.
What's up,
So
Brian?
listen, and I feel
What's
for
up,
Diddy, because
Bully?
this is what got me, right? They literally were like, okay, the jury actually said, and I quote, hold on. They said, oh, more body language. Quincy looked sad. The girls looked like they were about to cry. I really felt sorry for them. And in that minute, I'm like, this is so sad. And then I said, wait a second. Because at the end of the day, the only person that caused this, the only person behind this was Diddy. Not the people demanding justice. Not the people saying you can't use people's party favors. Not the people that said, you know, all these key stories about putting roofies in champagne and giving girls a special champagne. This is illegal. That is great. It's illegal.
Yo,
right?
There she go pushing false narratives again. There she go. Confusing the lawsuits with the criminal trial. This is how they trick the people. This is why so many people talking about Diddy need to die in jail. Because the mainstream media, including Tessa Towers Lies, confused intentionally the lawsuits which are fake and made up with the criminal trial. You see what she just did? Yo, nowhere in the criminal trial did anybody testify that Diddy gave them drinks that was laced with some type of drug. We haven't heard none of that testimony. You only hear that in the fake ass lawsuits that was designed to kill his image and to damage the jury pool.
Girls looked like they were about to cry. I really felt sorry for them. And in that minute, I'm like, this is so sad. And then I said, wait a second. Because at the end of the day, the only person that caused this, the only person behind this was Diddy. Not the people demanding justice. Not the people saying you can't use people's party favors.
Hey, I dropped the link, nigga. Where you at,
said,
nigga?
you know all these key stories about putting roofies in champagne and giving girls a special champagne. This is illegal. That is great. It's illegal, right? Mark Agnafilio saying they used the oldest defense in the book. He raped me. Mark, well, how about Diddy's about to get the oldest case in the book? You are guilty. So again, what ended up happening?
Yo, she's a problem, y'all. Like, yo, she is a fucking problem. Like, yo, we gotta stop being tricked by industry plants. Yo, she was brought on the internet for this particular purpose. Control the narrative. She is very good at misleading people. She's great at it. I ain't gonna lie. She is great at what she do. She got a pretty face. She talk fast. And it's easy to get lost in her words if you're just listening and not paying attention. Yo, she mainstream media from the beginning. I have never heard her deviate from mainstream media. Ever. Ever. Whatever she covers, and it's always about black people and black men in particular. Whatever the narrative is, she's gonna straddle the fence. Well, not even straddle the fence. She's gonna stay on the side of whatever agenda that they need pushed. And she good at it. You know, she's good at it. But I think that was her role the whole time. That was her role the whole time. Mislead people. I mean, when we need somebody slandered, Tisa tells, do your job, shorty. Get to work. We're gonna send all the numbers your way. That's how they operate. That's how the game is played on YouTube now.
Right? Oh, also, the jury, when they walked out, usually when a jury walks in and out, I'm not saying they're smiling at Diddy. They would never do anything in that proper, but they seem just like loo, right? Walking and walking out. When they were invited in, because they said that the jury is deadlocked and they cannot decide about what to do with the verdict, the jury came walking in, and they were walking in looking guilty as a mug.
They
were
drug
walking in
nobody,
looking
man.
like people that knew that they
Diddy didn't drug anybody. Like, all of that shit was all lies. We read 3 of them lawsuits earlier. Frivolous ass lawsuits. Shit was all lies, man. Can't believe nothing. Y'all asked my 12. One of the lawsuits, y'all, if you weren't on the live earlier. One of the lawsuits that Tony Busby dropped right before the case went to the jury, which should have been illegal. But neither here or there. A guy, a grown-ass man, said he went to a party. He was invited to a party by a guy he didn't even know. And at this party, he's seen bottles of open champagne on the table. He decided to pick one up and drink it. And next thing you know, he was disoriented. Yo, I brought my 12-year-old son downstairs. 12. I say, son, if you was at a party and there was an empty bottle or empty bottles on the table, would you pick one up and drink it? He said no. That's a 12-year-old, man. We talking about a grown-ass man did that. Yo, that's not reality. No grown man or woman is going to go to a party where they don't know anybody and just pick up a drink and start drinking it. An open drink at that. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. They think we fucking stupid. And they prove that a lot of us is stupid. Like, fuck, think. A lot of us is stupid because we believe the dumbass shit. We don't apply no reason, no logic, no common sense, no nothing. We just, whatever they say goes. And we just run with it. Yo, every single lawsuit I read, I think was a lie. Every single one. And we read about at least 15 of them bitches. Every single lawsuit we read, I think, was a lie, man. That's why we knew there wasn't no kids in this case. When the whole world was talking about it's children. It's kids. You know the fuck it ain't. We y'all, you know, like I still can't get behind. Yo, it gotta be a way. And this the federal government game now. I don't know if y'all noticed. They playing the social media game. The federal government is playing the social media game. They're using social media and bloggers that I think work for them or work with them either directly or indirectly to push to further their agenda. It's a game, man.
To sentence a man to jail, that he might actually die there. Again, maybe I'm reading too much into the body language, but the jury looked very, very, very guilty. On top of that, there was one juror that in my mind, has seemed very not, hey, how are you? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. There was one juror that in my mind I thought looked very, very pro-Diddy. I always thought I'm not going to say who they are, but they were always very pro-Diddy. This time they came in, and they came in looking angry but sad at the same time. They came in like this. Almost looking like they wanted to cry, almost looking like they had no choice, almost looking like they tried their best to roll out for somebody that they may have thought was innocent, but at the end of the day, they had to decide what the law is.
Yo, but yo, you see, she just admitted that. I don't know if they said guilty or not guilty, but look at the narrative that she's running with. She just admitted that I don't know if it's 4 guilty verdicts, 1 guilty verdict, 3 not guilty. But listen to the narrative. You can't say that, but then do a whole spill on basically saying that they got 4 counts guilty on Diddy.
Now, there is a chance that they already said Diddy is not guilty for 4 of the 5 charges, but judging by the way they all walked out, they had solemn expressions. They looked guilty. They would not look even in the defense's direction. They only went and they sat down and they actually look sad. That does not look like people that are going to send somebody home. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying?
No.
Right?
Don't see what you're saying.
This is crazy. So anyway, let me get into what happened. You guys, also, let me read you this, right? Because I was talking to, have a good one. I was talking to one of my friends, and they had some legal, and they had some interesting thoughts on this. I wanted to read it to you. You guys, it looks like Sean Diddy Combs is going to jail, possibly for the rest of his life. And judging by the way the Combs family, the defense, and Diddy himself and the jury was acting, that 4 out of 5 counts, they already decided it's not a good thing. It is not a good thing. Now, the judge did ask, all right, you guys, what are we going to do, right? The jury said that both sides cannot decide on the predicate acts. The predicate acts are the underlying acts. Remember we talked about that? RICO is the case. The predicate criminal acts are the eggs, the flour, the baking soda, the sugar. Without that, you cannot have a RICO. Now, here's the thing. You must find that they committed some of these underlying criminal acts that are committed under the RICO. However, when you decide that, it must be unanimous. So if I say, yeah, that mofo did bribery, but I don't think he did trafficking, and another person says, well, I think he did trafficking, but I don't think he did arson. And you see what I'm saying? All 12 people have to agree.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. They wouldn't be able to force me to change nothing. Like, man, I see this is a play. This is bogus. I ain't trying to hit none of that shit. I don't believe nobody. I think they all lied. They all had lawsuits against them. They all had incentive to lie. They all got immunity. So if they did lie, they're not facing no accountability. I don't trust the whole case. Throw it out. Not guilty. I don't believe none of it. Retry it. You know what I mean? Next time, do it on good faith. Next time, don't be stealing motherfucking his motherfucking witness list and all the other illegal things that they did. And I'm standing on it. They'd have kicked me out the jury room.
He did sex trafficking. He did robbery. Now, here's the interesting thing, which makes me a little nervous. Again, judging by their body language, they look guilty. Judging by the body language, it looks like they convicted guilty on at least some things. But think about it. Those counts are, let me pull up these documents for you to see 4 of the 5 counts. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's get into this, because this is the only thing, right, that actually makes me feel very, very, a little bit worried. Not much, judging by their body language, but just a little bit. Let's look at the verdict, the official blank sheet verdict,
yeah,
right?
they railroaded them, man.
If you find the defendant guilty of count 1 RICO, what type of racketeering acts do you unanimously find were involved in the offense? Acts involving kidnapping. This is what they couldn't decide on. Acts involving arson. Acts involving bribery. Acts involving witness tampering. Acts involving forced labor. Acts involving... sorry, guys. I'm fighting with the wind. Acts involving sex trafficking, and acts involving transportation for purposes of prostitution, and acts involving drug distribution. Okay? Now, okay. So that is for the RICO. Okay? And they said that the pattern, and then they said, if and only if you found him guilty of count 1, did the pattern of racketeering activity include SMEX trafficking of Cassandra Ventura? And did it include SMEX trafficking of Jane? So, what does that mean? The 8 things were RICO. The other 2 things about, do you think they committed SMEX trafficking for Jane and for Cassie? That is sentence enhancement. So if you found him guilty of that, and you said, right, if you found him guilty of that, and you actually said, yeah, I did it, and we find him guilty of also SMEX trafficking with the RICO, with Cassie and Jane, that means that when they sentence him for RICO can be 40 years to life. He's obviously going to get closer to life, okay? But there's more.
Obviously.
There's more, there's more,
Christ.
there's more. Count 2. This is what they said they've already decided. Count 2. For SMEX trafficking of Cassie Ventura, did you find him guilty or not guilty? They have made the decision. Count 3. Mann Act transportation of Cassie Ventura. Do you find him guilty or not guilty? Mann Act, all right? Listen, Mann Act is when you move a prostitute across state lines or internationally, okay? Count 4. SMEX trafficking of Jane, right? Do you find him guilty or not guilty? Count 5. Mann Act transportation, that's moving a SMEX worker across either state lines or international. Do you find him guilty or not guilty? Now, hear me out, okay? Because we are in the final thing.
Hey, yo, I swear, yo. If they find him not guilty to everything, yo, these motherfuckers gonna look so fucking stupid. yo, I swear, yo, if they find him not guilty on everything, and they just struggling with the RICO, yo, it's gonna be a lot of sad faces in this motherfucking courtroom. They gonna come out that bitch, especially her. I want to see her cry on camera.
I just did a live of you guys saying I thought a verdict was going to come out down today. Why? Because Douglas Wigdor was in the courtroom. Why would he be in the courtroom listening to us pass notes unless he wanted to be there
you want to come
make
up
a
and talk?
statement on
Nigga, hit the
behalf
link.
of his client, whether he got guilty, his client is Cassie, whether Diddy was found guilty or not guilty, okay? And the whole family around, we saw Mama Combs looking distressed, talking to Brian Still and Westmoreland, and they were saying something, and then the kids all started rolling in between 11:30 and 1:30. And when the girls showed up, I said, oh yeah, they think something's about to come down the barrel, okay? Oddly enough, the jury tried to actually get ahead of that and say, listen, we decided everything else, but we can't decide RICO. Now hey, how are you? Here's the only thing that worries me, and just hear me out, right?
What worries you?
It's the only thing that worries me.
Let us know, man.
If they found him guilty
You worried
of
me.
count
Shit.
2, 3, 4, or 5, that is also guilty of RICO. So I'm wondering how they found.
Well, I just tell you. So there's no way, possibly, that they got him guilty in all 4 counts. It's no way. They can't have him guilty on all 4 counts because he'll be mandatory. It will be mandatory that he's guilty of the RICO. So mainstream media is still lying. They still lying. I was just telling my homeboy this shit a couple hours ago.
Found this man guilty of counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. But hey, have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm wondering how they found this man guilty of count 2, 3, or 5, but they didn't find enough for RICO. I believe the bribery is there. I believe the witness tampering is there. I don't know about forced labor. I believe the sex trafficking is one of it, and I believe the drug distribution is one of it. And also involving transportation for purposes of prostitution. I believe that's there too. Hold on, my thing's coming apart. I believe all that's there too. So how could they find him guilty of that, right? All right? How could they find him guilty of all that? But they didn't turn to RICO.
Yeah, we gonna get her in a freak off. And she better pray for God Diddy don't beat this case. Cause we gonna start a petition. Tissa Tells needs a Diddy freak off. For all the hard work she have done, that's the least the people can do for her, is find a way to get her into a freak off with Diddy. 3 nights, 6 guys, baby oil everywhere is going down.
There's a chance that they found him not guilty of those 4 out of the 5 charges. There's a chance, because how didn't you get the RICO? But then again, Diddy's demeanor, the people in his family and friends' demeanor. When you look at the jury, the way they came in so guilty, the way you look at the defense and the way they were acting like maybe it came out, or maybe it's the stress. I don't know, but it was very, very, very weird, okay? It was very, very, very weird. Okay, so listen, this is a anonymous tip, if you will. Let me just get into this, right? Because it needs to actually be said, right? Somebody said, I believe the jurors who refused to change stance prior to the judge issuing a new charge is called the Allen charge. And the jurors who laughed or shook their heads along with Mark Agnifilo, they're the ones during Jane's testimony. We all knew Jane was going to, well, maybe people thought that she was going to hurt the state on the RICO.
They definitely need to
Listen. So some people think that the jury is too pro-Diddy, right? They said the number one takeaway is if the jury comes back after the judge gets the Allen charge, then we want a deadlock jury. Now keep this in mind. What is an Allen charge? The Allen charge is when you tell the jury, listen, nobody, even if this goes to another jury, nobody is better suited, smarter, better, faster, better, prettier. Like, nobody is better than you to decide this case. So please don't think if you kick it down, oh, there's going to be people better. What is the Allen charge? It is meant to encourage them, right? It's meant to encourage them to kind of dig deep and get on their 12 angry men and start arguing back and forth about what's going on. That's what the Allen charge is supposed to do. So listen to this. The number one takeaway is if this jury comes back after the judge gives the Allen charge, and the Allen charge is like, basically, go back in there and decide. You guys are the best people to decide. If you guys don't decide it's going to be a problem, just go back in. They said if they come back after that, then you guys, listen to me. When you say your prayers for tonight, right? I like to give God a, if A, then B, but if B, then C, but if C, then D. I like to give God options just in case he's feeling generous, right? We want a deadlocked jury. We want the mistrial to keep Diddy in jail because that is where the defense will get their possible pardon. If the jurors feel pushed into changing minds from not guilty to guilty after the Allen charge is given, that's where they will have their chance to go to Donald Trump and get a freaking pardon because they will say Diddy has been treated unfairly. Now, this is assuming that Donald Trump will even give Diddy a pardon and wasn't just like, being Donald Trump just talking, right? But that's where they're saying he was treated unfairly. The jurors came back and they said, no, we find him guilty. No, we find him not guilty. And then we were harassed and we were demeaned and all these people said something. And now we were forced to change it to guilty.
She working with them people. And no lady, you already know. Ain't no telling who the fuck she pray to. You heard me? Yeah, she work with them people, man.
But we really don't think he's guilty, right?
Like, how the fuck is your coverage this one-sided? Like, yo, like, her coverage of Diddy been one-sided the whole time. She believed every lawsuit. She believed everything that came out on Diddy. Every negative thing that we was all calling lies, she ran it on her platform as truths. Until it got disproven, and then she switched it up and act like she never said it.
So that's where they will have their chance for a friggin' party, okay? Again, just like Wolfette, me and my girl Wolfette was talking, she says, I don't understand because if they found him guilty of 2 out of the 5 charges, if they found him guilty for 4 out of the 5 charges, then they found him guilty on all the predicate acts. Again, it's very odd, and I'm on pins and needles.
It's
but
not
I'm telling
odd.
You,
it's obvious. It's obvious that they didn't find him guilty on all 4 counts. It's not odd. It's obvious. They trying to make it be something that it ain't. It is obvious that they did not find Diddy guilty on 4 counts. It's obvious. Unless the jury don't understand the instructions. Now, if you saying 12 people don't understand simple instructions, then that's confusing. But I believe that they didn't find him guilty on all 4 counts.
Acting like a man that had gotten not guilty on all those charges. Listen, the jury stayed to send another note.
They could have found him not guilty on all 4 counts, and then struggling with the RICO because it's still predicate acts in the RICO that they still trying to determine. Like, we don't know what the verdict is, yo, for everybody narrative to be this one-sided.
They need it, again, the jury needs to realize that if you convicted already, okay, on just 2 of the 5, then you have a, then you have a predicate act for charge 1, okay? Again, maybe the feds needs to allow for a partial verdict because even at max sentence, that is 20 years, and at Diddy's age, that is life, okay? Everybody is hung up on the RICO,
Yo, they
okay?
really want this man to die in prison, yo. Like, yo, that is crazy to me. Yo, they really want this man to die in prison for what? Like, yo, what the fuck did Diddy do that was so bad that he deserved to die in prison? Like, I don't see it. I don't see it. From what I've seen, and we covered it from the beginning, yo, I do not see anything that say Diddy deserves to die in prison. At all. And I don't understand how this woman, who's supposed to be a black woman, they say she American, I think she lying. You know what I mean? It's so one-sided in her approach. Yeah, you know that's what it was.
Prayers tonight for those jurors.
They running a play on them. A serious play. They running a serious play. Matter of fact, let's go back to this. Let's go back to that R. Kelly interview, 60 Minutes. R. Kelly, 60 Minutes. They ran the same play on R. Kelly, man. This again, right? Because at this time, I was naive to the media manipulation and the games that they play. So I want to watch this again, yo, because I know a lot of people crack jokes. You know, he said, I don't know how to hog tie people. They say R. Kelly was hog tying people, man. I don't think R. Kelly was hog tying anybody. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, we got to go back and revisit this interview. They said that man was hard. Yo, do y'all believe R. Kelly had people hog tied? I don't. Now that I know that they're lying lawsuits and they're lying, I don't think he did that shit. As a matter of fact, I don't think I ever believed he did it. But I just want to hear what he say about the situation.
I am surprised that you agreed to do it. Why are you sitting down with us today?
I'm very tired of all of the lies. I've been hearing things and seeing things on the blogs, and I'm just tired.
What are the lies that you're hearing that disturb you most?
Oh my God, all of them. That little girl's trapped in the basement. Helicopters over my house. Trying to rescue someone that doesn't need rescue.
And she ain't no goddamn black woman. Keisha, ask her where she from. That girl ain't no. She ain't no American black woman. She might be first generation. She ain't no descendant of slaves. I guarantee you that. She ain't no motherfucking black woman. That girl got y'all food over there, cash apping her and supporting her. She don't support the same causes we support at all. She don't identify with our struggles. That girl a foreigner. It's obvious that she's a foreigner. What her parents look like? Why she ain't got no Wikipedia yet? We don't know nothing about this girl. What school she went to? We don't know nothing about her. And none of her friends pop up and say that, yeah, me and Tisa went to school together. See, black. I'm not saying she ain't black. I'm saying she ain't American black. She's not a descendant of slaves. Y'all gotta realize it's a difference. All black people, everybody, we just black people from Africa, it's black people from Jamaica, it's black people from the islands. They're not American blacks. They're not descendants of slaves, yo. We don't have the same interests. We don't have the same interests. People gotta understand that. We don't have allies in this shit. Everybody has their own struggle. And a lot of times what these people do is they bring people on this internet that look like us that ain't us. They ain't us. And we fall for it every time.
They're not in my house, handcuffing people, starving people. I have a harem, a cult.
Look, listen to the lies they told on R. Kelly. No, they don't. No, they don't. Because they wouldn't do it to their people, Keisha. That's what you gotta understand. They wouldn't do it to their people. If Diddy was from wherever she was from, her coverage of Diddy would be different. It'd be different. It wouldn't be, she told lies, man. She pushed lies to 500,000 to the 500,000 subscribers she got. She told y'all Diddy was touching kids, man. That was a lie. That was a lie. There was no proof that Diddy touched no children, and she knew it, because I knew it. I'm a much smaller channel. I don't have the resources. How did I know and she didn't? And she read paperwork just like I read paperwork. She intentionally misled her people. Keisha, if you one of them, you should be calling her out for this shit. You should be over there calling her out for lying. Tisa, you told us Diddy was fucking with children. Tisa, you told us Diddy was taking a plea deal. Tisa, you told us Diddy was snitching. None of that was true. And none of y'all hold her accountable for it. Y'all just keep watching. Now let's tell the lies they told on R. Kelly.
All of them. That little girl's trapped in the basement. Helicopters over my house. Trying to rescue someone that doesn't need rescuing because they're not in my house. Handcuffing people, starving people. I have a harem, a coat. I don't even really know what a coat is, but I know I don't have one. You know.
Have you done anything that you regret? Have you done anything wrong?
Lots of things wrong when it comes to women that I apologize. But I apologize in those relationships. At the time I was in the relationships.
Have you broken any laws when it comes to women?
Absolutely not.
The 6-part series interviewed 50 people, family members, your former tour manager, numerous women who all claim that you abused them. Are you saying everybody in that documentary was not telling the truth about you? Everybody?
You see what I'm saying? They ran the same play on R. Kelly. These 60 women didn't testify. They ran this, it's the same playbook. We keep allowing this shit to happen. Documentary after documentary. Lies. But back then, I didn't know they was lies because I didn't think they could do no shit like that. I didn't think they'd get away with it, but they have repeatedly got away with putting these fake-ass documentaries out, making wild allegations on people, and R. Kelly ended up with 30 years in prison. And we allow it continuously. Listen to her.
Abuse them. Are you saying everybody in that 50 people, family members, have you broken any laws when it comes to women?
Absolutely not.
The 6-part series interviewed 50 people, family members, your former tour manager, numerous women who all claim that you abused them. Are you saying everybody in that documentary was not telling the truth about you? Everybody?
If you really look at that documentary, which I'm sure you have,
I have.
Everybody said something bad about me. Nobody said nothing good. They was describing Lucifer. I'm not.
Come on now. Come on now. They ran a documentary, yo, ain't nobody say nothing positive. I remember the Surviving R. Kelly. They ran a whole documentary with not one person. They couldn't find not one person to even the playing field. Because that wasn't what that documentary was designed to do. That documentary was designed to do the same thing the lawsuits and the documentaries did on Diddy. Kill him in public opinion. It's much easier. They did the same thing to the black man, y'all. As a whole. I ain't talking about these niggas. As a whole, they ran the same play on a black man. And we just stupid as a motherfucker. We can't never see it. You kill him, you kill an image. You kill an image of the black man, you kill a black man. You kill an image of the artist, you kill an artist. It's way easier to justify mass incarceration when you tell the people that these people are dangerous. They're a threat to society. They don't know how to act right. If I force that narrative on you, now when you see this motherfucker go to kill somebody that could be self-defense, it's easier to just give him life. Do that make sense to people? So now when he get life in prison, it's like, well, damn, he deserve it. You don't even factor in the whole situation. He killed somebody. That's typical of what we see of the black man. They can't function in society anyway. Might as well give them to the prison. It's the same play. They've been running the same play on black community for 40 years, and we still don't get it. That shit is aggravating. That's why, yo, that's why so many people be selling out. You know, because you can talk this shit to the cows come home and people still won't see it. Yo, how you run a whole documentary on this man and don't bring nobody up there and say nothing positive? Yo, that's not a documentary. That's a motherfucking, that's a play. That's a play, man. We gonna tarnish this man. We're gonna make him look like Lucifer, like he said.
Nobody said nothing good. They was describing Lucifer. I'm not Lucifer. I'm a man. I make mistakes, but I'm not a devil. And by no means am I a monster.
I'm going to name the names. Andrea Kelly, your ex-wife. Kitty Jones. Lisa Van Allen. Lisette Martinez. Geronda Pace. Faith Rogers. Asante McGee. You're saying everything they said in that documentary about you is not true.
They are lying on me.
Why would these women say the same thing about you? That you are controlling, that you are abusive, that you tell women when to eat, when to go to the bathroom, when they can sleep, where they can dress. Why would all these women tell these different stories about you if they were not true? And they don't know each other. That defies logic to me.
No, it don't. Right. Not when they being coerced. They don't have to know each other. They don't have to know each other. Yo, I just told y'all what we found out in the documents that we read on R. Kelly a couple days ago, probably like a week ago now, where they put a federal informant inside R. Kelly's cell. Now, y'all know R. Kelly had state and federal charges. So, R. Kelly got sent to the feds to handle a situation with the feds. Moved back to the state. He had the same cell buddy. Yo, do y'all know how rare that is? Come to find out this cell buddy was a federal informant who was stealing his mail and giving it to the federal government. The federal government then take this information and gives it to another federal informant who then reaches out to Ezriel Clary and exposes the fact that R. Kelly is talking to other women while he's incarcerated. Flipped her. Now she's a state witness. Gayle King knows the play. She been around too long to not know how dirty these people is. They dirty, man. It's very likely and possible, just like all these lawsuits, they all saying the same thing. It's very likely and possible that the federal government coerced all these people to say the same thing. It's not out of the ordinary. It's not a stretch of the imagination. I would say it's more likely than not.
Until you hear the explanation. You can start a rumor on a guy like me or a celebrity just like that. All you have to do is push a button on your phone and say, so-and-so did this to me. R. Kelly did this to me. And if you get any traction from that, if you're able to write a book from that, if you're able to get a reality show, then any girl that I had a relationship in the past that it just didn't work out, she can come and say the same exact thing.
That's a
Are
fact.
you blaming this on social media?
I'm talking about the power of social media.
Yeah.
Have you ever had sex with anyone?
Why she clip that? Why did they clip that part out? What did he? Why was that part removed? I wonder what he said. This interview should have been done live, man. R. Kelly shouldn't have done this interview unless it was done live. That way you can't edit shit out.
Under the age of 17?
No.
Never?
No.
I have to tell you, it's so hard to believe that based on all the read.
I'm going to tell you something, Gail. There's one thing. I'm going to tell you something.
What women said about you.
What women said about me. So nobody's allowed to be mad at me and be scorned and lie on me.
So they're lying on you. That's your explanation. They're lying on you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You feel that people have maligned your character?
I have been assassinated. I have been buried alive. But I'm alive.
So I think the point you're making is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well,
How stupid would
never
it be
held
for
anybody.
R.
Man,
Kelly?
fuck it, Harmo. You know how, yo, the way jails is moving inmates around. Yo, you know how highly unlikely it is for you to go fight a Fed case and come back and have the same cell buddy that you just left. Like, yo, that is like, it's hard for me to put a number on it. That is extremely unlikely. Extremely unlikely. And you found out he's a federal informant that was stealing his mail.
With all I've been through in my way past, to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50, you said. How stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you were
That's
holding.
stupid, guys.
I didn't.
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid.
It is
Use
stupid.
your comment.
And this is the shit I be saying about Diddy. Yo, people, it doesn't make sense. That's why I want to go back and look at this again. It don't make sense. For everything that he been through, you know what he been through. For him to still keep moving this way, it would be stupid. It would be stupid.
Common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement, and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle.
Robert,
stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
Robert.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life. Yo.
Yeah, this tells freak off still going on, man. We're gonna make it happen for her.
I mean with this. I gave out 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You're killing me, man. This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
They did with the same
You just
move.
don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly paused the interview to give Kelly a moment. His publicist helped calm him down, but Kelly's emotions remained very raw.
I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're gonna let the camera keep rolling.
This is not, doesn't even make sense. Why would I hold all these women? Their mothers and fathers told me, we're gonna destroy your career. It's real girls out there missing. It's real young girls out there being abducted.
Same shit. Yo, it's real victims out here, y'all. Like, yo, it's real victims. It's real girls out here missing like R. Kelly. Yo, they ran the same play on R. Kelly, y'all. But it's easy. It's easy. I told you, motherfuckers, they play about that shit, bro. It's easy to demonize R. Kelly because of his past. That once you tell a person, once you tell a world that this person is dealing with underage children, it's easy to demonize them. They did it with Diddy. Even though there's no proof, no facts, no testimony. All you gotta do is say it. And people gonna run with it.
Being raped, okay? They really are on chains. They really do have chains on their wrists, and they can't get out.
Robert,
and they're ending up buried in.
Robert, we have to have a conversation.
This is
Really,
not me.
I don't want you just ranting at the camera.
I came here for them to hear me talk.
But
that is what she did. She tried to make him seem unhinged, but he really upset. He got every right to be. Got every right to be. They railroaded him. They ran the play. They ran the play on him. Kill him in the media. Kill him in the media. We got him in court. You ain't got to worry about court. Once we kill him in the media with black people and how emotional he is, it's easy to get black people emotional. You know, if I can control your emotions, I can control your life, man. That's law. If a person can control your emotions, they can control your life. And black people, for years, they have been able to control our emotions so they can dictate the way we think. And they can control your next move.
Help.
What kind of help?
This is the kind of help I need.
Yes, what kind of help?
I need somebody to help me not have a big heart. Because my heart is so big. People betray me, and I keep forgiving them.
You sound like you're playing the victim here. You sound like R. Kelly, you do. When I listen to you,
I'm
it
just
does
telling
sound
the
like
truth.
you're playing the victim.
I'm just telling the truth. And the reason I'm emotional,
But Robert,
and I apologize for that,
No,
is
no,
because
no,
this
no.
is the first time I was able to say
speak.
something. I've said nothing.
Your income. It was reported that your income was
He
very
is a
high.
victim.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. We'll say that. Because I don't want to get hung up on
Now,
the
that's one
semantics.
room I wish that was true.
And yet, when you were in jail last week, the bond was $100,000, and they said R. Kelly couldn't even afford to get himself out of jail. That a friend had to come and bail you out of jail. What is your financial situation, if you don't mind saying?
Here's the deal. So many people have been stealing my money. People was connected to my account. I went by myself for the first time to Bank of America. Didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know what the hell was going on.
When did you do that? First time by yourself?
About 3 weeks ago to a month.
3 weeks ago was the first time you went to Bank of America
Absolutely.
by yourself?
By myself. Because I was so tired of not knowing where my money was, what my publishing is.
Isn't that on you then?
Huh?
Isn't that on you?
A lot of it's on me.
That you didn't know where your money is?
A lot of it's on me.
And people say he doesn't have money because he had to pay so much in settlements. What do you say about that?
Lie.
Yo, why they edit this, yo? Yo, we need to call for CBS to release the whole unedited video of R. Kelly. Yo, we can do that, y'all. I don't know if people understand the power the people really got. We could put so much pressure on CBS that, yo, we want to see the full unedited version of this interview. Because they did a whole bunch of editing. That's R. Kelly's fault, though. R. Kelly shouldn't have done this interview. This interview should have been live, man. It's the only way I'm doing it. Is if it's live. Because when it's edited, you can dictate the narrative. You know what I mean? You can dictate the conversation. Once it's edited, if I edit a video, I can make it look however I want you to look. We could have had a great interview where you talked about your life and your rap career. And I can edit it and make it seem like you just talked about apps the whole interview. You understand what I'm saying? So when the interview come out, you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? This ain't no, hell no. Our interview was way longer than that. You done turned the whole 2-hour interview into 13 minutes. What did he say the other hour and fucking 47 minutes?
And $50,000 in the bank. And I told her, look, take that. I want to start a new account, and that's the way it is, right? So she said, okay, it's going to take 6 to 7 business days to clear. Does that make sense? How can I pay child support? How? If my ex-wife is destroying my name and I can't work, how can I work? How can I get paid? How can I take care of my kids? How?
Your ex-wife...
Use your common sense.
Your ex-wife said you abused her, Robert.
13 years being married. I flew in on a helicopter.
Yes. Yes. Can somebody get us some tissue?
I don't want no tissue. I'm going to leave. Look, man, look. I'm telling y'all. I flew in on a helicopter with a damn puppy, and I proposed to Drill, whom I was in love with, and told her, hey, look, I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. We got married. Okay? We had 3 beautiful kids. Not once have I ever had a domestic violence call at the house and all this, that, and the other. It never happened, okay?
Is Andrea not telling the truth when she said she was abused by you? Is she not telling the truth?
Absolutely. She's not telling the truth. I love her to death. I have nothing against her still. That is my kid's mother.
She's making that up.
You
Why?
notice one thing.
Why is she making that up, Robert?
I'm not disrespecting
It is a lot,
her,
man, because when you see, I'm looking at this shit from a different set of eyes now than I looked at it from when it first got aired. When you look at it now, I believe everything R. Kelly said. Back then, it was played like he was lying, he was manipulative, he was unhinged, like my man Hartmo said. But looking at it now, this nigga was telling the truth. The whole interview. I don't believe he told not one lie, man. I believe his emotions is real and everything. Cause look what happened to him. They gave man 30 years in prison and they trying to kill him. And they trying to kill him, man.
She's not telling the truth. I'm just being honest. Somebody sent me something on my phone and it said that I hog-tied her. I don't know how to hog-tie people. What would I hog-tie? My kids is listening to this. All this is not.
Bro, I don't know how to hog-tie people either. You feel? Yeah, like I think you gotta live on a farm to know how to hog-tie people. Like I believe R. Kelly don't know how to hog-tie people, y'all. You know what I mean? Like, how many people knows how to hog-tie people? Like, you put a one in the chat if you know how to hog-tie somebody, man. I don't think that's something typical of black men, y'all. I don't think we be out here hog-tying women. I think that was a fucking lie.
I said, and I ain't been spending no time with him. This is real. This is not a lie. What kind of woman would tear down a dad who's trying to have a relationship with their kids? You know how many kids need a relationship with their father?
What is your relationship with your
children?
children?
My God.
What is your relationship with your children?
Zero. But I know my kids love me. And I'm in love with my kids. I love my kids.
What is your relationship with them?
I love them, and it's like they're my girlfriends. It's like, we have a relationship. It's real. And I know guys, like, I've known guys all my life to have 5 or 6 women. Okay, so don't go there on me, okay, because that's the truth.
The fact that they're much younger than you.
I don't look at much younger than me. I just look at legal. I just look at you're you, I'm me. Now, I don't know if you're married. I don't know.
See, y'all, and they played that. The parents played on R. Kelly, man. Like, it was no way R. Kelly should have went to jail and them parents didn't get charged too. Like, it's no way that should have been allowed. Yo, I showed y'all text messages. Do I gotta go to the R. Kelly paperwork? Because I got it. It was text messages of these women coercing their daughters to look young. You know he like them young. Don't put no makeup on. Take your hair out of that style. Look young. That happened, y'all. Parents ain't faced no accountability for that. R. Kelly thought the girl was 18. She was 17. She was leaving R. Kelly. I was going to school in the morning.
I don't know.
And that parents was aware of it all.
I don't know. But one might be older than the other.
And I go to it after this.
One might be younger than the other. Okay? So I just look at legal. Okay? People. There are older men that like younger women.
Is that
there
true?
are younger women that like older men.
Are you an older man that likes younger women?
I'm an older man that love all women.
Okay.
I didn't go looking for a Jocelyn Savage. I was doing my show. He brought her and asked a friend of mine to put her on the stage with R. Kelly.
Look.
Make sure she's on the stage.
Her father did
Andrew
this.
Clary, what is your relationship with her?
Now, this is the one I was just talking about. that the feds flipped him. She was rocking with R. Kelly, but the feds flipped her by getting a federal informant to show her phone conversations that R. Kelly was having on the jail phone. They gave the federal informant recordings of this information, and the federal informant met up with Ezriel Clary. Actually linked Ezriel Clary and the girl together so they can have a conversation. And she went from not cooperating to being one of the biggest witnesses against R. Kelly.
Right now, I'm seeing her.
You were seeing her?
Yeah, she's 21. I'm seeing her.
She's 21.
Yeah.
But did you start seeing her at 17?
Absolutely not.
Did you have sex with her when she was 17?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Although her parents wanted me to.
No, her parents claim they have text messages that show that you had sex with her when she was 17.
Let's go to the text messages. Cause those are the text messages I'm referring to. Let's see if her parents lying or not. Why would you put your child next to a man that's already been on trial? Has already been on trial for Leslie having sex with a minor. Why would you do that to your child, man? Hold on. I gotta go all the way up because this when Flim Flam first started sending me paperwork. She started sending me R. Kelly because she invested in R. Kelly. She don't like the way R. Kelly was done. She first started sending me R. Kelly paperwork. Damn, yo. You know what? I go all the way to the top. This shit might take a while. Alright, let's go up. November. Well, R. Kelly went to jail 2023. Well, R. Kelly caught this time, man. Going up what it is. We're still in 2024. God damn. May. August 2023. Kelsey. 2022. Oh, here you go. This is it. Shauna Cross. No, this ain't it. So she's she started sending me that shit in 2022. And sweet the Flim Flam for rocking out. Yo, oh my god, he took me all the way back to the bottom. Yo, fuck no. They just started me all the way back over. Alright. Is it this? this? Who the fuck is this? Alright, let me get y'all over to the screen I'm on. Alright, we gotta find that shit. Okay, sparkle. Here you go. Here you go right here. Look at this. I ain't make it so y'all can see it. Look at this shit. Mistrial clarity text messages. Look at this shit, y'all. Exhibit 233A. Mom Dukes. Incoming. I'm not at the studio here, although when I met you, I did not know you were trying to sing, so I gave you the number because I like you, but I would love to hear you sing a song. So what we would do is we would call you around 7, and I'll let you know where to meet me. I'll just come down and meet you, okay? This is Mom Dukes. Hold on. That's real clarity messages. So let me show y'all. Oh man, my computer is fucked up. My fucking computer is fucked up. There we go. So I was there. I'll call you at the school. And Comic-Con. Hold on. I should keep doing that. Alright, don't be late. Keep it that. You call me. This man is trying to screw, but I'm trying to make a business. He knows you're a singer, but he ain't playing. He wants you fuck. Since he can anyone he want. If you don't keep his curiosity pegged. Listen to this. This was the mother, y'all. Look, this is Mom Dukes. Look what Mom Dukes told the daughter. This man is trying to screw, but I'm trying to make a business. He knows you're a singer, but he ain't playing. He want to hit. Since he can have anyone he wants, if you don't keep his curiosity pegged, he's going to step. But I'm going to have to put him in his place to let him know. I already told him, you ain't no groupie. He sent that this morning, so you got to play it cool. So this is the mother telling her daughter to play the game. Play the game. You know, keep his curiosity pegged. Listen to this. I'm on my way to make sure your hair looks fly. No makeup, natural. Lip gloss, he must like natural. Doing that now, this is her response. Oh, he's so fine. Be ready to sing something, is what she's telling her daughter. The girl said, the girl like him. Mother said, because I asked him his favorite old song, and he said he has too many. He will tell you when he talk to you. The mother again. Do not go with no one. If you do, make it MIA. Don't tell no one. The mother again. Don't do nothing. Take no drinks. If he get it, he will have no respect for you. He won't do nothing with your music. So you have to be serious and let him know you about your music. Just like he's trying to get he's trying to get on. Men like things they can't have. So you want him to have respect for you, even if it means losing an opportunity. And let him know that you're not a groupie and not fast. But you have been so into your music. You haven't really dabbled into dating. You've been waiting for the right person. This is the mother coercing the daughter. All you needed was jeans and a shirt, sexy but casual. You never listen. Call me when you get to school. Put your license somewhere in your car. Look, so she's trying to hide the fact that she's 18. That she's going to school. Don't let him see a license. Put it in the car. Do you have a folder in your car with important papers? I don't know. Where's DTLR? This is the mother. Down the street. I think on whatever. Hold up. It stands for Downtown Locker Room. Nobody said it's open. That's why. Wanted to go to school. And who? Did R. Kelly text you? Yep, he said he's staying on tour. But he wants to get a hotel room for just y'all so y'all can get away from security and management. Oh, heck no. What the heck? You should have said why I run. I know a great studio. Laugh my ass off. Look, this is the mother. Laugh my ass off. What we gonna do? Shaking my head. Incoming. I don't know. He wants you to call when you ready to meet so he can tell you where. I'm not in the studio here, although when I met you, I did not know you were trying to sing. I hate reading text messages. So I give you the number because I like you. But I would love to hear you sing a song. So what we'll do is you call me around 7 and I'll let you know where to meet up. And I'll just come down to meet you. This is the girl coordinating. The mother coordinating with the daughter. That was his last text. Oh shit, shoot. Okay, so watch your mouth. Sorry, I know. So I'm going to Malachi's till 4. Malika's. Okay, he said he's going to meet you. No hotel call when you're ready. But you still need to wait for your dad. Shake my head. Wait till she gets to the part where she told him you gotta look young. And the father is in on this too, y'all. This is Mom Deuce. Be prepared to sing 3 songs. He said he will meet you and listen to your songs. Please have your glasses off, head to the side. Mama knows best. Pretty hurts. And third, your choice, don't yell. Put on a show. Grab his hands. Shimmy. Wiggle. Sit on his lap. Entice him. This is the mother, y'all. Be prepared to sing 3 songs. He said he will meet you and listen to your songs. Please have your glasses off, head to the side. Mama knows best. Pretty hurts. And third, your choice. Don't yell. Put on a show. Dance. Grab his hand. Shimmy. Wiggle. Sit on his lap. Entice him while singing. It's all about performance. It's your chance and opportunity. Don't blow it. Good luck. I love you. Did you send a pic today? I guess you need to talk to your dad to get with the time. But you will have to FaceTime him before you leave to find out where, because he wants you to call him. Did you see my last text? Did he answer? What happened? Why you're not answering? Sorry. I meant to hang up. I'm driving to your dad. So this is the mother and father. Listen to this. Take off that ugly ass lipstick. I told you. He don't want you to be grown. I told you to keep your hair curly. That shit look a mess. You need some jeans or shorts. You trying to look grown. He wanted you because you look young and innocent. That's what he wants you. That's what he want. Not a little girl trying to be grown. You're a damn fool. Like, yo, come on, yo. Do I gotta make this bigger? Can y'all see this? You don't listen. So look. So now, after she did all that, you don't listen. Call him from your phone. I told him your phone was dead. You got your phone, you got your bro phone? Call him now, then text, cause he just called me from a different number, but I didn't answer. You gave him a ride from school? Who's this? Incoming. It's Mom Dukes again. She talking about her little brother. Okay, I don't care. Did you find it? I should have left work at 6. You would have been there. What you singing? Song Pretty Hurts from the beginning? I know, Mama knows best. Not real loud. I know, I practice. Incoming. Sing, not yell. Hello, are you there? Where are you? Hello? Hello? What's your... whatever. Why aren't you answering the phone? This the mother. So look. Really, I'm so upset. Please hit me up. You need to answer your phone now. We're going to have a problem. Okay, so the police here. So this the girl responding. What the heck? I'm okay. Shake my head. We've been talking. Shake my head. Relax. This is all dirty work. I hope it was worth it. So after she didn't entice her daughter to get around R. Kelly, seduce him. Now whatever happened, and now she freaking out. I'm gonna call your dad. I'm so mad with you. I love you and need to make sure you're okay. I love you more. Relax. Relax, Ma. He calling. Don't pick up. I hope it was worth it. Yes. This the daughter saying, yes, it was worth it to the mother. I know, but I have your phone because your bro gave it to me. He was like, are your parents strict? Because if I fly by you, could I? I said, duh. Tell him, no, we not. But we need to make sure you're okay. And yes, you can fly. Listen to this shit, man. This is all dirty work. It's all dirty work, man. Man, salute to D'Angelo for the $5 cash app. I'm going to meet him for food. Let me know when you're finished. I'm at a parking garage at Disney. Yo, this is like yo, how is these parents not in trouble? I don't get that. How did they duck indictments? This is an underage girl. R. Kelly thought she was 18. The mother knows she's 17. She hiding her license. The mother told her, hide your license. Shit's crazy, y'all. Yeah, no, they wanted to cut the corners. You know what I mean? You know how that shit go, but they ain't want to go about it the right way. They wanted to be Cassie. You know what I mean? This is another Cassie situation. Why weren't you at school? Did you talk to him last night to tell him you made it home? I don't know. You said you've been sleeping all morning. You can't be sleeping school. Yeah, but he didn't text me this morning. Don't tell anyone, not even Mia. I haven't, don't worry. I would send a cute face pic and be like, good morning. The early bird catches the worm, sleepyhead. Can't wait for the movies tonight. So you got to be like, hey, yesterday was awesome. A dream come true. Can't wait for today. Stroke his ego. Look, this actor, she had sex with him. This actor, she had sex with him. Look what the mother tell him. So you got to be like, yesterday was awesome. A dream come true. Can't wait for today. Stroke his ego. Like, yo, this is fucking crazy, man. Yo, this is crazy. Hey, I'm driving home. It's hot. Shake my head. How you driving home? Y'all out of school early? I'm at the doctor's office. Did he hit you up today? Come on, man. This ain't no motherfucking victim. Them parents need to go to jail. I ain't never go through all these messages. Okay, look. So the pic he sent you was one posted on his IG. So you can be like, that's messed up. When he be like, what? Be like, you sent me a pic that's on your IG that everyone got. I must be chopped liver. This is the mother talking to her daughter, y'all. This is the mother talking to her daughter. She saying, tell R. Kelly, don't send me no pic you sent on IG. I want a personal pic. Come on, man. Yo, this shit is crazy. This is crazy. So the girl says it's not that serious, but okay. Call me when you get home. No, it's not. But guys like stuff like that. Just BS. Yo, this is fucking crazy. I ain't never read all this shit, y'all. She is telling her child how to seduce a man. Guys like that, daughter. Better listen to my mama's knows best. She already said that 5 times. The mother. Why you not home yet? Shake my head. Since you want to be grown, do you. I'm done. Don't go to school tomorrow. Get up and meet him in the morning. Go hang out. The fuck? She told I need to go to school. She said, fuck school. Man, we in there. You already had sex with him. He don't know you 18. He don't know you 17. Don't fuck school. We ain't worried about school no more. You need to keep seducing R. Kelly. Get pregnant. Shit. Have a baby by him. That way we really got him. Dirty motherfuckers. Look, I don't want to be the reason you missed your opportunity. Mom Duke's a dirty motherfucker, y'all. Since you so grown, go meet him. Now stay with him. And leave from there to school in the morning. Yeah, that's a good one since you know everything. And he's so cool and blowing up. And blowing up and blowing everything up. Now she's saying stay with him. Go to school from there. This shit crazy. This shit is crazy. Oh, she giving us some direction somewhere. This is crazy, yo. Do y'all see this shit, yo? Let me know once y'all together. Let me know when you leaving. Hello, are you okay? I keep getting a call from an unknown number. I'm fine. I'm in my car. He didn't come down yet. Wow. What'd he say? Copy and paste this text. Wow, you get me here, and now you have me sitting outside. Very inconsiderate. Look, she's telling her what to say. I'm not pressed, so I guess I might as well leave because I'm not going to chase you or play games either. This is the mother. She said copy and paste. Look at this shit. Copy and paste this text. What the fuck is that? Yo, lock her ass up. Somebody need to find Ezreal Clary's mother and lock her ass up. Years later. There's no way she was able to get away with this, y'all. She telling her daughter what to say, how to say it, what to wear. She quarterback in the whole play. And then she got on interviews. Hold up. Y'all remember what her mother did on interviews? Let's go back to her mother. Ezreal Clary's mother, R. Kelly. I think they from Baltimore too, y'all. Is this her? So they did an interview. I want to find an interview with her mother, where the mother spoke out. The people ain't even believe them. They tried to tell the truth. Fuckers ain't believe them. Hold on, let me get rid of some of this shit. Yeah, they set him up, yo.
With R. Kelly are defending him and their relationship with him in the strongest terms. 21-year-old Azriel Clary and 23-year-old Joycelyn Savage told us they...
That's the one who text message we just read where her mother was coercing her to sleep with R. Kelly. Or to seduce him. Don't sleep with him. Just lead him on.
In an interview,
when it was obvious that the daughter thought he was cute because she said it.
See only on CBS this morning, the two women told us there is nothing inappropriate about their arrangement with the 52-year-old singer. What is your relationship, both of you, with R. Kelly?
We're with him. That's our relationship.
We're with him. Yeah,
we
that's
live
what
with
it
him.
is.
And we're in a relationship with him.
Right.
We just said it.
A very strong relationship as well.
Now, she's from Baltimore.
Most definitely.
how do we say this without being inappropriate? Is this a three-way relationship, or do you each have a separate relationship with him? How does this work?
Well, both
I'm
of
curious.
those. Yeah,
Yeah,
we both have
so
our
both of you
individual
already know.
relationships with him, and we all are family all together. We have our moments where we sit and watch movies all together. We go to amusement parks all together.
I'm not talking about Azrael going to movies and sitting watching, going to parks. I'm talking about is it a three-way sexual relationship?
Sexually, well, first of
between
all,
the
I'm
three
not
of you?
here to talk about my personal life,
Okay.
and I would never share with no one what I do in or outside of the bedroom. And as a woman, I'm sure you would not either.
No, I wouldn't, but
okay then.
No, you're
next
right.
question.
No, you're right. I would not, but this is a very different circumstance.
It's
And
not
I
a
think
different
it's a fair
circumstance. There are
question.
people all over the world who have multiple girlfriends. It's no different.
Do both of you all believe you're in love with him?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course.
Should your parents be concerned?
No.
That's not how she directed the question. Do y'all believe? What the fuck? They at this point they grown. I don't know what age they was. They grown people now. I think they know what love is, Gail. This is all part of the media play.
Why?
Well, my parents knew where I've always been for 4 years. They have known. They know that I've been well taken care of.
They never thought you were missing, Azrael. They just were wondering if you were okay.
Well, my parents have actually came to Chicago and seen me a few times. I've talked to them. They stopped answering my calls.
You know what they say? They say that you were brainwashed. I talked to your dad last night. He says, my daughter is brainwashed, and he's very concerned. He said he was here 2 days ago, and you wouldn't even look him in the eye.
Okay, I wouldn't look him in the eye because he's a liar, and he's a manipulative liar.
I'll tell you why they're concerned, Azrael, because they say she's 17. We found text messages that indicated that she was having sex with R. Kelly when she was 17. Is that true?
No, that is a lie. That is a lie. I was not having...
Yo, we just read the messages. We just read the mother was telling her what to do. The mother told her to look young. He likes him young. Mama knows best. The mother was aware of the sexual relationship and still was coercing her daughter to keep it going. All this came out in court, yo. I didn't read nothing that wasn't in court. It all came out in court.
Sex with him at 17.
Why would they want to lie about you, their daughter?
Okay, so when I first met Robert, my parents told me to lie about my age. So when I met him, he thought that I was 18. On top of that, when I was 17, my parents were actually making me, trying to get me to take photos with him.
Those are facts. We just read it.
Take sexual videos with him, all kinds of stuff.
Wait. Your parents encouraged you to do sexual videos with R. Kelly?
Yes. And they said because if they ever have to blackmail him, what they're trying to do now, they can use it against him, which is exactly what they're doing.
Joycelyn, I see you nodding a lot with what she's saying. Why are you nodding in agreement with what she's saying?
Because everything that she's saying is true. Our parents are basically out here just to get money.
Sure, that shit crazy.
You're saying the same.
Well, both of our parents are basically out here. They're trying to get money and scam because they didn't agree on what happened, with music or wherever it could be. And
that's what they all do. What I tell y'all about Cassie, they all do it. They won in the game. They get in the game. They don't get what they want out of it. And then now you have this. Now you have this. It's the easiest play ran. Because most people ain't going to make it. Most people ain't going to make it. So the easiest play is once you don't make it, you're a victim now. Now you can play victim. You played the game. You lost. It's like shooting dice. Losing all your money. Now you robbed the dice game. You know what I mean? You shot dice. You lost. Instead of taking your loss and coming out, making up some more money and coming out the next day. Now you call your man. Yo, I'm shooting dice on da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I want you to rob this bitch. Everybody. Rob me too. I mean, I'm broke. Nigga took all my money. It's the same game, y'all.
They're just very upset.
This is the first time hearing, to be honest with you, that your parents are trying to get money from R. Kelly.
Okay.
Because your father told a very different story
to
me last night.
Yeah, he's the manipulative. He's very manipulative, so he's the one you need to watch out for. But my dad and my mom, they started to send threats to both me and him. They said, "Oh, I'll put all your naked pictures all over the world. I'm going to ruin you. I'm going to ruin him if he doesn't send $20,000 to this bank account by Monday.
Extortion?
Oh, I'm going to put everything out there and then $10,000 after that." You're trying to solicit me like I'm some hoe. I'm not. I'm your child.
Exactly.
Yeah, you sound very angry with your parents. You sound very angry.
Dirty work.
And very pained. Tell me, Azrael, why you're crying. Tell me.
I'm crying because you guys don't know the truth. You guys believe in some facade that our parents are saying. This is all lies for money. And if you can't see that, you're ignorant and you're stupid as because you want to be. All because that's the world we live in. Negativity sells. Gossip is what sells. Rumors are what sells.
Exactly.
But Jocelyn and Azrael, this is more than gossip. This is more than just rumors.
No, it wasn't.
These are decades of allegations.
It was lies. It's decades of lies. Do they use black people to take black people down, yo? COINTELPRO. COINTELPRO is real. It's real. Whack a agent. They use black people to take down black. They use black sellouts like Gayle King, like Ariel Mitchell, like Jane Dale, like Jaguar Wright. These are people everybody keep supporting, like Tissa Tells, to take down other black people, man. They've been doing it since fucking the Black Panthers. They've been doing it since Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, freedom fighters, the fucking the MOVE movement. Like, this is the game.
Against Robert Kelly.
We're not here to talk about decades. We're here to talk about what our parents are doing right now.
Right.
And what they're doing right now is all for money.
Right.
Now, both sets of parents deny ever asking Kelly for money or receiving money from him.
I be trying that. I be trying to open people's eyes, man. People like being blind. Let's go back to the messages. That's fine. Azrael Clary. Let's see. Shit. Let's check that interview out. Let's check that interview out. Now, I think Azrael Clary is the one from Baltimore. You're right, Boyfriend.
What would you say to somebody that hasn't tried therapy?
She was all over this. She was all over this. She a sellout. She a sellout.
And Angelo Clary reveal why they are now afraid for their daughter's Azrael's life. It is their first interview since the scathing Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly. Azrael Clary met the singer back in 2015. She was 17 at the time. Her parents claim that Kelly promised to help launch her singing career. They say they have learned since then that his real interest in their words was a little more sinister. I spoke with them yesterday about how this all started, and they say that just 3 days after meeting R. Kelly, their daughter went to a hotel to meet him without their permission. They were furious and went knocking on hotel doors to find her.
What? Yo, we read the messages. Yo, you couldn't tell that that's what they... Like, come on now. You couldn't tell that that's what was leading up to it. Now they playing victim. The mother coerced the daughter the whole time Now you surprised that they ended up in a hotel together? No, fuck out of here, man. That's bogus.
What she said was, this was an audition. Why wouldn't you trust me? Y'all would think I would put myself in a predicament and not call y'all if something wasn't right.
She's saying you're messing up my chances.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what she
So
said.
that's what-
This is my opportunity. This is my big break.
Tempers eventually cooled, and the Clarys say they actually developed a professional relationship with R. Kelly over the next few months. Even pitching, the Clarys say the singer had his own proposal. Let Azriel join him on his tour full time.
He flew us into Chicago. We sat with him in his studio. We met with him. And he basically told us, yeah, I'm starting tour. Basically, y'all need to make a decision.
Azriel had dreams of becoming a singer, according to her parents, who say she dealt with personal struggles, including a suicide attempt following a bad breakup. That was before she met R. Kelly. She eventually gave her parents an ultimatum. She says, if you don't allow me to go, I will try to take my own life again, or I will run away.
Mm-hmm. I don't
That ain't the
want to call her
message.
bluff on it because I know she just attempted this previously. So I'm thinking in my head, she only got 3 more months. She's going to be 18, so she can do what she wants. And she really carry out this. And then now I'm living with regret for the rest of my life.
From the outside looking in, guys, people will still say, you're allowing your 17-year-old daughter, who at the time is underage, to go with R. Kelly. The perception is that he preys on underage girls. Did that give you any kind of pause whatsoever?
That gave me pause. I mean, it gave me awareness, but you talking about a young lady that's raised by 2 parents going
So you're
to
saying you trusted her?
I didn't trust him. What I trusted was I raised my child right. I trust my daughter will be honest with us. And this was strictly her music. R. Kelly had a platform as big as music can ever give somebody. I didn't see the label stop supporting him.
And you told me that you saw him working with other young women.
Yes.
Last week, Kelly blamed Azriel's parents for their own estrangement.
What kind of father, what kind of mother will sell their daughter to a man?
3 months before Azriel turned 18, the Clarys signed a letter giving their consent for her to go on Kelly's tour and stay with a woman named Valerie Janice Payton. Who is Valerie Payton?
It ain't R. Kelly. It's not Robert Kelly.
But does she work with R. Kelly?
She's supposed to work for the label. We found out later on that she works for R. Kelly.
But at the time you signed this, you
That's
thought
crazy.
she was.
He told us
Yo, that bitch lying like a motherfucker.
From Sony.
Okay.
Correct.
So you thought she would be a chaperone for
Correct.
your daughter.
That's what she was supposed to be.
Okay.
And we found out later there was no truth in that.
Yo, they sitting there lying after, and he locked up now. He just caught another 15 years. Y'all remember him? He just caught another 10, 15 years. He was the same guy that represented Stormy Daniels and the case against Donald Trump. So he was one of the lawyers that was doing that dirty work. He was Tony Busby before we met Tony Busby. It was his ass. Let me show y'all what happened with him. Show y'all what happened with him. God damn. Stormy Daniels' lawyer gets more time.
Michael Avenatti. According to MalayMail.com, Michael Avenatti, who acted for Daniels in her lawsuit against the former U.S. president, was given a 14-year sentence for stealing money from his clients and for not paying taxes.
Was sentenced to 14 years on Monday in order to pay $7 million in U.S. restitution after admitting he cheated 4 of his clients out of millions of dollars. That was June 12th. June 12th, he got 8 more years. So how much time he got now? He got resentenced to 135 months, slightly more than 11 years, but credited for 40 months for the time he served in prison for stealing nearly $300,000 from Stormy Daniels, advances on a book contract that brought his sentence to nearly 8 years. So they must have ran it concurrent. Let's go back to the text messages, y'all. Y'all couldn't see that screen I just was on? I sure the fuck couldn't. Hold up. So that's the screen I just was on right here. And my screen acting stupid. On top of that, not cool. He was asleep and I was asleep in my car. Really, what the fuck you laughing for? You been outside for 3 hours. Ain't shit funny. No, I was knocked out in my car. Really? Yeah, but kept waking up for your text. Look, go play laser tag right now in downtown Disney by the circus building. Plus, they have a bowling alley there too. He's a grown man. This was the girl saying. The mother. His big ass, his big kid ass like acting like he 18, so laser tag and arcade will be up his alley. You better ask him, are you going to hear from him again? And is he really going to work with you musically before you leave? You need to let him hear your songs. Let him see your video. You're trying to date the man. You need to let him see your shit. What's your Gmail? Email. Come on, man. Okay, I just sent songs to you. You will have to go into Yahoo to see the video. It won't let me forward it. Don't forget to ask about music stuff. And if you will hear from him again. Because you serious. If he not, then cool. So you can move on. And won't keep hope alive. If he see you already have music and videos, that will show him how serious you are. So what the parents try to do is leverage sex. We ain't talking about Diddy right now, Vibe. We must just came back. We talking about R. Kelly. We revisiting this R. Kelly situation. Because they doing R. Kelly just like they doing Diddy. You're silly. That man ain't trying to do nothing with you musically. He wants to fuck you, period. Because he like young girls. If he heard you sing, heard your song, saw your video, he would see you serious because you got talent. He would be serious about the music with you. He obviously ain't interested in that. You're wasting your time. My Yahoo not working. He probably hit you up, fly you out to meet him later by yourself. You get there and you will have no choice but to have sex because he will probably tell you you ain't giving you a return flight unless you do all kinds of BS. Man, I just wanted to show y'all the bullshit. And they basically doing Diddy the same way they did R. Kelly. And we sitting back allowing it, watching it. And we gonna let this shit happen again. And again and again and again. And it's gonna keep happening. Until people start saying something. And people start standing against the bullshit. You feel me? Y'all drop the link, yo. See, this is why I don't go live this way. Every time somebody, yo, drop the link, yo, I'm trying to come on. Where's all people that say they be trying to come on? And when I drop the link, they ain't never here. Yeah, they sold their daughter from financial gain. It's like the motherfucking crackhead that's trying to get high and selling and pimping their daughter out. And it's the same concept. It's all the same. It's dirty work. You know what I mean? Shit fucked up. They want to play the game and they lost. And now they lost. And the only option is, like the girl said, as well Clary said, to blackmail them. You know, to put wild allegations on them. Yeah, hell yeah, and that time they doing Diddy dirty, man. We sitting back allowing it, and the media still lying. Talking about, yeah, they got guilty on 4 counts. No, the fuck they don't. No, they don't. We'll see. We'll see by tomorrow. I gotta work tomorrow, so I'm gonna go live. Hopefully, I'll be able to go live right after, you know. It depends on how all that shit work out. But should I appreciate everybody that tapped in, yo, hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if you can't support the platform. Cash App Baltimore Swag. So now there, keep it G News. And I'm out.